My interest in my career path started at a very young age, around 5 years old. I was just very interested in nature. I used to love to spend time outdoors, and there's just kind of a natural sort of inherent interest in we call biophilia that everybody has. I used to watch shows like Marty Stauffer's Wild America, but I was always especially drawn to aquatic environments, to water. I used to love to fish at a very young age. My grandfather and dad would take me fishing, and I was really kind of obsessed with underwater life. And then another thing that really helped me get into my career path were that both of my parents were academics. My father was a mathematician. My mom was in graduate school studying literature when I was born, and so because of that background that they had in these fields and that knowledge that I got from them, I understood that being a scientist was a career option for somebody at a very young age. So by the time I was 8 years old, I knew that I would become a marine biologist as my career. That's what I had planned on doing throughout my childhood and up until I was an adult. Okay, so I went to high school in Puerto Rico at a private school, and then I went to the University of Miami in Florida for a bachelor's degree in marine science and biology, then a master's degree at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras in biology, then a PhD at North Carolina State University in fisheries, wildlife, and conservation biology. Okay. So I currently work at North Carolina State University in a group called the Federal Fish and Wildlife Co-op Unit. And my title is postdoctoral researcher. But recently, I got my dream job, and I'll be moving to Knoxville in July to start as an assistant professor of fisheries conservation at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So the main focus of my work through my career has been on understanding how we as humans are altering aquatic ecosystems with a special focus on rivers and streams, and how those alterations of aquatic habitats affect fish communities and fisheries. And I've focused my career especially on three main types of alteration: urbanization, and the effects of climate change, and dams and associated changes to the ways that water flows through rivers that happen with dams. So the first thing was family support was huge for me. In addition, my parents doing things like reading to me every night. My dad would take me out fishing, even though he really didn't like doing it and was never very good at it. My father and I got scuba certified when I was 13 years old. My mom used to do things like take me to Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts events, and so that kind of fueled my love for outdoors. And they would buy me things like natural history books, which I used to read a lot as a kid. And then as an undergraduate, I had a very influential class called Biology of Fishes with Dr. Bob Cowan. And I also got to be involved in a program called Saltwater Semester that the University of Miami has. And that is for marine science and biology students like myself. And it allowed us to spend an entire semester very focused on doing the types of field research that scientists like myself would do. So that was a huge, not only did it motivate me to continue into this field because I enjoyed it so much, but I learned an amazing amount of information during that semester. Then as I kind of moved on in my career, I've had three main mentors through my career who really helped me get to where I am. The first one was Alex Warden, and she gave me my first job, which was working in science. My first job in science, which was working in her lab. Then my second mentor was Dr. Alonzo Ramirez, who was my master's degree mentor. And finally, my third and most important mentor was Dr. Tom Kwok, who is my PhD advisor. And an important thing was that, he really gave me the confidence that I could obtain my ultimate career goal, which is to become a professor. And then there's a couple of unexpected things that I think really helped me on my career. One was just growing up, I used to play football and other sports, and I think that that really teaches people things like hard work and grit is really important. Really having a thick skin can be important for a scientist because uh, you're constantly under scrutiny from other people. So you got to kind of have a tough attitude sometimes. And then I was a coach of Pee Wee football, and that taught me about leadership, which is really important going on in my career path. And then finally, I had a hiatus for a year and an alternate career path as a waiter, which did two things for me. One, it confirmed that I really want to be in science and doing something else was not interesting to me. And it helped me with my sort of public speaking skills and interacting with people because as a waiter, you just kind of have to do that. So it's important to know that you can learn a lot about where you might be going from something that doesn't seem connected at all.